Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Office Lovers along Haruyuki Otori's route. We're on his epilogue, The Best but Worst Happiness. Let's see just how happy his epilogue will be. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. How long had it been since I'd started working as a secretary and that scandal happened? How long had it been since Haruyuki confessed to me? On one hand, it felt like yesterday, but on the other it felt like ages ago.
What's wrong?
Nothing. The ring necklace that Haruyuki gave me dangled around my neck. A similar ring necklace that I gave to him glittered as it hung around his neck.
It's rare to see you staring into space like that. Is something on your mind?
Just thinking about the past. I had changed so much, I couldn't even imagine what I was like back then.
That's nice, but how about you come back to the present and think about me instead?
He gently caressed my cheek. Seeing his usual charismatic smile put my heart at ease. Right, I need to concentrate and get this work done before anything else.
True, it's a shame work gets in the way.
Looking a little defeated, he slowly walked back to his own desk.
Man, I'm sick of working.
That's not something a CEO should be saying, you know.
I'd rather spend the whole year flirting with you instead.
You really think that?
Of course.
Well, assuming you did, how would you earn money then?
Ugh.
What are you going to eat? How are you going to pay off the bills?
You are no fun at all.
I'm not the one who thought up such a silly idea in the first place. Well, couldn't you save up the money and retire?
All I wanted to do was show you how much I want to spend time with you.
You should have said that from the start. Nothing would make me happier.
Oh, I don't get to hear such embarrassing lines from you that often.
I'm telling the truth. It only felt embarrassing once you pointed it out. Despite how embarrassing it felt, it really did make you feel good to get your feelings across. That was one of the things I'd learned from him.
Oh yeah, I need to know something. Isn't there a break coming up in my schedule?
I think it was Sunday. I opened up my notebook to check his schedule.
I'm off the whole day, right? I'm sure of it. I have to be.
He seemed pretty excited to be getting a day off. It looks empty to me. Does that mean a date?
Thank goodness.
For some reason, he looked particularly relieved to hear it.
There's something important I need to ask you.
Huh?
What's that look for?
Every time you say something important, it never is.
That hurts. How can you be so mean when someone's asking you on a date?
Huh? Date?
I've been so busy lately that I haven't had the opportunity to invite you on one.
That's true. It had been quite some time since we last met outside of work. Maybe because of that, the sound of going on a date seemed terribly exciting.
What do you think?
Of course, I'd love to.
Great, that's a relief. I've got all these plans worked out.
What plans?
It's a secret. You'll have to wait and see.
That sounds fun too.
Huh? Did you just say two?
No, I didn't. I needed to be more careful of what I said. I didn't want him to know how excited I was.
I swear you did.
You're full of it. Anyway, let's get this work out of the way.
You can't fool me. It's so cute how you changed the subject.
Shut up. For the next few days, life continued as usual, being harassed by Haruyuki at work. Eventually, the weekend rolled around, bringing our date with it. Looks like I came too early. I arrived at where I was supposed to meet Haruyuki, but he wasn't there. I looked at the time and saw I had gotten there 20 minutes early. I hope he comes soon. Then again, waiting anxiously was one of the things that made dates fun.
Hey, did you wait long?
Haruyuki showed up, flashing his bright smile. Not really.
I'd planned to get here early, but I guess you beat me to it.
I got so anxious, I just couldn't sit at home and wait any longer. Little did he know how much earlier I'd actually arrived.
Actually, I felt the same way.
What? You got anxious? I would never have thought that.
Of course I do, especially today.
I guess everyone gets nervous before dates, no matter who they are.
Probably.
He took my hand and placed it on his chest. Huh?
Can you feel it? My heart is pounding.
I couldn't feel a thing through his clothes, but that wasn't what concerned me. Let go! It was the eyes of onlookers that worried me.
I can't. You're too beautiful to let go.
Alright, enough of the teasing.
Right. We only have so much time, better not to waste it.
He began to walk away, still holding onto my hand. You're not going to let go?
No, we're lovers. Holding hands is normal.
I know, but... The warmth of his hand went through mine and into my heart. We walked down the city streets, hand in hand. After seeing the movie Haruyuki had been talking about for a long time, we started walking again.
That was good. I enjoyed the movie. It's been so long since I saw a good one.
Does that mean I didn't like it?
Are you mad at me?
I'm not mad, just... During the whole movie, you couldn't stop touching me. I couldn't concentrate. How did he know how good the movie was if he was making out with me the whole time?
Well, don't you kind of want to when it's all dark in there?
Not a bit.
Oh, come on. We're lovers, so...
You can't keep using that as an excuse for everything.
Fine. I'm sorry. I might have gone a little too far.
You don't have to apologize. I'm used to how you behave, so I'm not mad.
So then why?
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Is that like past mad?
Like, is that worse than mad? I've already given up with getting mad at you. Though to be honest, I was a little thankful. Him choosing to watch a love story was totally unexpected for me. Then again, thanks to the movie, I couldn't stop thinking about him the entire time.
Hey, wait. I've got to take this.
He pulled his phone out of his pocket and walked a little distance away. I stood there by myself and waited for him to finish his call.
What the hell is that? Ugh, come on.
A few moments later, I heard him yelling in an angry voice on the phone. When he came back to me, he was visibly disturbed. I guess he's being called back into work, so he has to cut our date short. What happened?
Well, it looks like I'm going to have to stop by the office.
Huh? The office? Isn't it your day off?
By all means, it should be.
His face shriveled into a dejected, worn expression.
It's something that ought to be taken care of urgently.
Oh well, it happens.
I'm so sorry. I can't believe this happened after we finally got to go out together.
Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
Don't be. You don't get it.
Huh?
I know what your job is like better than anyone else. That's why I'm not angry at all. Maybe a bit sad, though.
Dirili.
Let's go. The faster we get it done, the faster we can get back on our date.
You're coming too?
Of course, I'm your secretary.
But you should be off today.
So should you, but you aren't. Besides, I'd rather be with you than at home alone.
Wow, the things you say these days surprise me.
It's all thanks to you.
So, you're coming with me?
I said so, didn't I? Yeah, I sure am. I hailed a taxi so we could get to work quickly.
If only work didn't get in the way, I'd...
He muttered something under his breath, but I couldn't hear it clearly. What, we'd be at the hotel by now? Did you say something?
Nope. Anyway, let's pound out the work and get out of there as fast as we can.
Okay. We headed off toward the office. Once we arrived at the building, we headed straight for his office. After gathering and looking over some necessary documents, he started making calls. We were so busy it felt like a blur. There was no time to rest for even a second.
Phew, it's all done.
By the time we had finished, it had already become quite dark outside. Good work.
You too. Looks like it's already late.
You're right. I'll put on some tea.
Thanks.
He flopped back into his chair, looking completely exhausted.
Once you're done with that, come relax.
I'd love to. I placed his cup of tea on his desk and sat down on the sofa.
Delicious. Your tea is always the best.
Thanks.
I can't believe it.
He looked up, tired and angry.
If it wasn't such an important customer, I'd have made someone else handle it.
It happens.
I know, but I'm coming over.
He walked over and sat down next to me.
I thought I'd be spending the whole day flirting with you.
But our day came off to an end before we knew it.
Yeah.
With his arm around my shoulder, he pulled me close and kissed me. I closed my eyes and let the feeling spread through me. I felt a little sad, but the kiss filled me with joy. Mr. Otori.
Work is over and there's no one here. You should know better than to call me that.
Haruyuki.
Do you want to have some fun?
There you go again. He ran his fingers through my hair.
I've been holding back ever since the restaurant. I can't wait anymore.
You'll do it even if I say no.
You know me well.
Then it's just a typical day.
True. I actually wanted to do a lot more, though.
Like what?
What did you think of the movie?
Some of the parts were too embarrassing to even look at.
Do you think they were happy?
I wonder. What was he trying to say?
Movies like that make you feel like marriage is the best thing a man can ever do, right?
Kind of. He did marry her at the end of the story. He suddenly went silent and made no signs of wanting to say any more. What's wrong?
Has anyone ever told you how dense you are?
Not that I remember. I have 1,000,000 times, and so have all the viewers on this channel.
So, what do you think after hearing all that?
We're talking about the movie still, right?
Oh, well. I figure you would notice eventually, but what can I do?
What in the world are you going on about?
I'm talking about this.
He put his hands behind my head to take off my ring necklace. What are you doing? He took the ring off the necklace and took a hold of my hand.
Don't move.
He slowly slid the ring onto my ring finger. What's going on? Dance! Putting a ring onto the finger of my left hand could only mean one thing. I was so surprised and confused that I couldn't even speak.
Dirili D.
He put his hands firmly on my shoulders and looked into my eyes. Yes? My voice squeaked with anticipation.
Will you marry me?
His face was more serious than I'd ever seen it before. He really did want to marry me. Yes, I will.
Thank you, Dirili. I love you.
Yeah. There was no way to stop the stream of tears that suddenly came.
Is it safe to say those are happy tears?
Of course. He gently helped me wipe away the tears rolling down my cheek.
It makes me happy, too, to see you so happy.
He pulled me into a tight embrace. Mm-hmm. I was so happy that I had to kiss him. He gladly accepted it.
I want you. I want all of you.
He put his hands on my clothes. Go ahead. I entrusted myself to him completely.
You're awful honest today.
Because I want to feel you too. Your heart, your emotions, your everything. His arms wrapped around me tighter than ever. I felt his warmth. I wanted to feel more. I wanted to feel longer, deeper. His hand felt hot against my bare skin.
You're burning up.
I could feel myself heating up with his every touch. That's your fault.
So, every time I touch you, you become a little happier.
It was close to the truth. His touch made my heart race. My entire body felt flush.
That was a nice moan. I guess you weren't fighting against it today.
I can't stop myself when you do it to me.
That makes me happy.
Haruyuki.
You're beautiful. More so today because of how honest you are.
I want to see you too.
Alright, I'm all yours. I want you to know everything about me, inside and out.
When I came to, I was snuggled up in Haruyuki's arms. I got to check up on the time and saw that it was already a new day. We're almost never at work this late. Being alone with him at this hour was rarer yet. I looked to my side to see Haruyuki sleeping soundly beside me. Aww. I should let him sleep a little longer. He deserved the rest, since our long-awaited day off turned into even more work. I'm sure he was way more tired than I was. When I stroked his head with my hand, I noticed the ring on my finger. I still can't believe he proposed to me. My face turned red just thinking about it. At the time, I had been too overjoyed to even feel embarrassed.
You up?
He sat up and stretched. Sorry, did I wake you up?
No, I got up myself. Guess what?
He leaned toward me for a kiss.
Good morning kiss. Can't forget that.
Silly.
What do you think we should do?
It's probably better if we went home.
Yeah. Do you want to stay with me?
At your place?
My place. You're my future wife, so our place.
Future wife.
Do you remember what I said at the press conference?
You asked me that before. What?
You don't remember, and yet you gave me this? Crazy.
He bought out the ring necklace I had given to him as a present.
I said I was dating you in hopes of marrying you someday. I gave you that ring necklace so that someday it would come true, so I wouldn't forget.
I never knew.
Anyway.
Whoa! Oh, he looks good there. Nice profile. He grabbed me by the shoulders and brought his face right up to mine.
I'd like seeing your reaction, so I'll ask you once again.
The only reason I ever met Haruyuki was because of his scheme. This was the same man who tricked me, but now I loved him more than anyone else.
Dirili D, I love you. Will you marry me?
This time, I could answer without hesitation. My feelings for him were unmistakable. I will. I love you too. We met in the worst possible way, but it didn't matter because it was the best possible ending. If I was with him, I didn't fear anything. If we had each other, we would overcome anything and be smiling in the end. Yay, we got a marriage ending! I was wondering if we were going to get married in the end of any of these things. Well, I guess that was slightly short, so let's try to squeeze the date scenario into the video. Date: vacation planning. It was a typical day, and the project was progressing well. My work was going just fine too. That is, until... Excuse me, Mr. Otori. I went to Mr. Otori's office to talk about work. However, he was busy staring at the papers spread out on his desk. His face concerned me. It looked like he was worrying about something. He put his head into his hands as if stressed out. I decided it would be better not to disturb him when he was like this. Reaching for the doorknob, I was just about to head back to the office.
Huh? Dirili, when did you come in?
He called my name right before I slipped away. Sorry, I was going to say something to you, but...
No worries. It's my fault for not noticing.
No, I'm sorry for coming in when you're so busy. I glanced at the papers on his desk.
Oh, these. This is for work, but it's not really.
Huh? Which is it?
Come take a look.
He flicked his finger, beckoning me.
What? Why are you just standing there?
I had a bad feeling about it, and my legs didn't want to move. You're going to do something to me, aren't you?
No, of course I'm not.
That face is not convincing. That's what you said before, until you jumped up and hugged me.
Yeah, but you were just so adorable then.
And I'm not now?
I really won't do anything this time, for real. I want to get your opinion on this too.
Fine. I approached him cautiously. Huh? What's that for? He had a map of the world spread out on his desk. What is this map for?
There's something I've been thinking about.
He studied the map with an intense gaze. Are you planning on opening an overseas branch?
Huh?
Aren't you thinking of expanding into another country? Why else would you have a map?
Well, you see...
It must be tough to be a CEO. Are you going to make products that match local demand? It was hard to tell what he was thinking, but it was obviously something to do with the company.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but...
Oh, sorry. It must be confidential information.
No, you weren't listening. I have no plans to open branches in other countries.
Huh?
And I'm thinking of eventually making products overseas, but not right now.
What? Really? I was so sure that's what you were doing here. Apparently I had been completely wrong. I felt so embarrassed. Then what are you doing? So intent on this map?
Actually, it's a secret, but I'll tell you if you promise not to tell anyone.
Okay.
Come close. I have to be quiet.
I leaned towards him, putting my ear right next to his mouth. It's a trap! Chomp! Ah! Startled, I reflexively shoved him away as hard as I could. He fell back onto his butt on the ground with a thump. Ha! You fell this time.
Ow! What was that for?
That was my line.
Well, you put it right in front of me, so I couldn't help it.
He looked at me with a smile, not seeming the least bit sorry for me. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
No, wait. I really do have something to talk to you about.
He scrambled up off the ground and pulled on me arm, like I'm a pirate or something. He pulled on me arm. Pulled on my arm, I'm sure. You should have started off with that.
Man, you're no fun.
Do you want me to leave?
No, sorry. What I really want to talk to you about is for an employee trip.
Trip?
That's right, trip.
What does that have to do with the world map? Duh!
I was thinking about doing it overseas.
I shook my head and sighed.
What was that for?
Nothing. The fact that he was trying to decide where to go using only a map was unbelievably naive. Yeah, you need some brochures, man. How is that map helping?
You know, looking at it makes you feel like you're actually there.
I bet you're the only one who thinks that.
What? If you close your eyes after seeing the map, doesn't it give you the sense that you're there?
Why would it? It's not like you're looking at a photo album or postcard or anything.
You just have a bad imagination.
No, I think yours is just plain crazy. Though, that might be one of the reasons you did so well as a CEO. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Why do you need my help?
I want to ask you where you think we should go.
Why an overseas trip anyway?
The business is doing really well lately, so I wanted to reward the employees somehow. What better way than to take them on a trip to another country?
I guess so. I think everyone would love it.
But my only problem is picking a place that everyone will enjoy.
So that's where I come in?
Exactly. What do you think?
I had never been overseas, so my opinion was of limited value. Sorry, I can't really give any suggestions.
Don't think about it so hard. Pick one like you're choosing off a menu.
His words were in sharp contrast to how much he seemed to be worrying about it earlier. I've never been anywhere, so I don't think I'm any help.
I see.
Why don't you ask someone else?
Then I'll ask at the next meeting.
That sounds good. I'll schedule some extra time to talk about it.
Thanks.
I relayed the new meeting time to the other members. Then, in preparation for the meeting, I gathered some info about places to go. I should make something for the most likely candidates. Selecting the places I thought someone would mention, I started putting something together. First would be Hawaii and Guam. Seoul might come up too. What are you looking up? Oh, just a little something for me. I promised Mr. Otori to keep it a secret from everyone else. Hawaii and Guam? Are you thinking about a honeymoon or something? No, this is... I'm joking, silly. Unless there's a secret wedding I didn't know about. No way! I wondered why she brought up the idea of a honeymoon all of a sudden. Because maybe she read the sequel? Then again, I guess the destinations I was looking at were top honeymoon choices too. If you hear those places, I guess that's what comes to mind, huh? What? Oh, nothing. Would I ever be lucky enough to go on a honeymoon someday? I guess the date scenario didn't happen after the sequel. My eyes closed, and I dazed off as I tried to picture it. I slammed my head on the desk with a thud. Are you okay? I'm fine. What was Mr. Otori doing in my fantasy? I slammed my head against the desk because I wanted to get him out of my fantasy? I wasn't even thinking about him. He was just there, beside me.
Hey, the meeting is coming up. Do you want to walk there together?
Sure. I quickly gathered my things to get ready.
Are you sick? Your face is all red.
Don't worry about it. Come on, let's go. I briskly walked out of the office before he could ask any more questions. We arrived at the meeting room a bit after everyone else.
That makes everyone. Shall we get started now?
At the meeting, people gave reports and updates about the seasonal cosmetic goods. It went by quickly and finished without a hitch.
Is that all everyone has for today? Yeah, that was faster than usual. Then, I guess we can go home now. Wait a second.
Everyone started getting up from their seats before Mr. Otori shouted out.
Is there something you wanted to say?
Was there any problem with something?
No, but I want to hold a personal meeting right now. Suit yourself. It might be boring all by yourself, though.
Mr. Hyoga made for the door.
Please, wait.
I lunged forward and grabbed him by the arm to stop him. Wow, that's really proactive of me.
What?
Just listen to him for a moment. Mr. Otori, I'm sure they'll listen if you quit with your jokes.
Jeez, you guys are too serious.
I'll leave too, you know.
No, sorry. I'll be serious from now on.
He revealed some sort of paper and stuck it against the wall.
Is that a world map?
I wondered why he went through the trouble of bringing it.
And what I would like to talk to you all about is this.
Mr. Otori flipped over the white board, revealing something written on the other side.
Topic: Travel destinations for employee trip. World edition.
World edition. The title was so ridiculous it was funny.
A trip will be great. People get excited just thinking about them.
The other members didn't seem to share his enthusiasm. What? How can you not be excited about a trip out of the country? For now, just take a look at this document I made. I handed everyone a copy. We were thinking of having an employee trip overseas this time and wanted your opinion. I started to explain the situation, trying to rally everyone behind Mr. Otori.
So that's what this is about.
An overseas trip. That's awesome. I've always wanted to go on one. I'm invited too.
Of course. It's going to be expensive if it's overseas, though.
It should be fine. Depending on where we go, I have plans to keep the cost down. I tried to convince Mr. Kaido while referring to the handout.
You sure thought of everything. The world is ours. Where should we go?
What's gotten into Mr. Otori?
Mahiro whispered to me in a quiet voice. I don't know.
I heard he likes to travel.
Really?
Yeah, he goes off somewhere new whenever he has time off.
Now that you mention it, I remember seeing him smiling to himself while reading a travel book.
I never knew he liked traveling so much. When does he ever have time to?
So, how about everyone shares what they think?
Mr. Otori bought something out and began handing one to everybody.
What's this for?
It was a small slip of paper. Voting?
To be fair, we'll write the countries down and pick the one with the most votes.
So, I should write where I want to go on this?
Correct. Go ahead and write somewhere, everyone.
What if everyone writes something different? There's not that many people here. There were so many countries to pick from that I wondered if we would get any more than one vote. Mr. Otori wrote down the names of the selected countries on the whiteboard.
What to do?
Is it all different countries? I kind of thought that might happen. Just as I thought, the results were pretty mixed.
What's going on here? Don't you all know Italy is the place to go?
Is it okay for you to even say that? It seemed to defeat the purpose of doing this anonymously.
What about Guam? It's got resorts and everything.
Nice, maybe, but the food in South Korea is like nothing you've ever had before. But France has the most famous cosmetic brands, and that's more important than food.
This is a vacation, not a work trip.
You're supposed to have fun on vacations. I picked Peru to see the World Heritage Sites.
Interesting choice. I thought Okinawa would be good, though.
Okinawa? That's close by. You could go there on a day trip.
You were supposed to pick a foreign country.
Exactly. Everyone continued shouting on the merits of their pick and had no interest in anyone else's.
How about we go with my pick of Italy?
You can't just decide for us.
Well, he could because he's the boss and he's paying for it.
He's right. What would be the point of the meeting then? I see your point.
But at this rate, we'll be here forever.
So, what can we do? Well, all the countries are interesting for one reason or another. Now can you see why I needed help deciding?
Yeah, it's hard to pick just one.
We weren't making any progress, so I wrote down everyone's choice on the whiteboard. So, there's Guam, which has nice beaches.
Where do you want to go, Dirili?
Me? Suddenly, I was the center of attention. Oh, great, am I going to be the one to pick? That's terrible, don't put that on me. Everyone else will be disappointed if I don't pick theirs. I'm fine with anywhere.
Don't think you're getting away with that answer.
But
This will only be fair if Dirili decides for us.
Huh? Why me?
Because the only one who hasn't said their opinion is you. Only you will be able to decide without any sort of bias.
I see what you're saying, but... I looked around, and everyone's eyes were on me. Deciding in a situation like this was easier said than done. What if I pick Hawaii? What if I pick somewhere that nobody else wants?
Come on, stop glaring at her like that.
I didn't mean to.
This is how my... This is how my face always looks.
He just has a natural glare.
I know, I meant everyone else.
Oh, poor Mr. Hyoga. I can't wait to date him. Do I really have to do this?
Come on, haven't you made up your mind yet?
It's not that simple.
Yeah, she needs time to think.
Then how about we decide with this?
He started writing something on the backside of the whiteboard. What are you doing?
And finished.
He turned the whiteboard around to reveal some sort of game. You can't be serious.
Why not?
It's so...
I'm against deciding with a game. There has to be a better way.
Not rock, paper, scissors?
That's for children. How about arm wrestling?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
I have a feeling I wouldn't have a chance, so no.
How about poker or something?
That would take too long. Something faster. Then this is perfect.
Of all things, he pulled a dart out of his pocket.
The rules are simple. Whatever country she hits is the one we pick.
I think I've heard the same line from a movie or something.
Where did you get those darts from anyway? Yeah, you always carry them around with you?
Do you want to check my pockets to see if I'm hiding any more?
No, thank you. So, all I have to do is throw this at the map?
I guess that works. Wait, if you do that, there'll be a hole in the wall.
He ran out of the room and quickly came back holding some cardboard.
Help me put the map on this.
We attached the map to the side of the cardboard.
Good. Now you can go ahead.
Okay. I felt so nervous, but all I had to do was throw it without aiming. I flung the dart at the world map as hard as I could. The dart made a thud as it stuck into the wall, missing the map entirely. I knew it.
Do you remember why I ran out of here to get the cardboard?
I'm sorry.
You're terrible at throwing.
He twisted the dart out of the wall and handed it back to me.
Stand like this.
Hey, watch where you put that, Mr. Otori. He placed his hand at the small of my back to fix my posture.
I'm showing you how to throw. Move your legs farther apart. Hold it like this.
I tried to imitate him, but my stance was terrible. The feeling of his hand on my back distracted me, making my heart pound.
What's wrong?
He whispered into my ear. Nothing. His breath brushed against my cheek. He was so close it felt like we were hugging. I lowered my face in embarrassment, but he lifted my chin back up.
No, you have to look at your target.
I'm okay now.
I don't think so. You look like your stance is all crooked again.
He lowered his hand closer to my bottom.
Mr. Otori, how long are you going to keep this up? It's fun to see her react. Sorry, I got carried away.
He backed away from me, but my heart was still racing.
Come on, throw it already.
All right. The words reminded me that if I threw it, this whole fiasco would be over as quick as that. I readied my arm and tossed it at the map.
Nice hit. What country is it then? Congratulations. The destination for the trip is Italy.
He announced to everyone with a huge smile. Is it really?
What? Really?
The others ran toward the map to make sure he wasn't lying.
It really is.
You hit it so dead on, it seems like this was all set up. So, this whole meeting was kind of pointless, wasn't it? I can't help it that it landed where I wanted to go. That's just the way the cookie crumbles.
This whole process seemed kind of silly to me anyway.
That isn't to say I'm not happy about it.
Don't look at me. It's just a coincidence that it landed there.
You had an equal chance to hit anywhere else. Aren't those odds incredible?
I'm not arguing that, but...
It's fate. It's like we were made for each other.
I don't see how that relates to this.
Here's a token of my thanks.
He leaned towards me and kissed me on the cheek. Just the cheek? Huh? It happened so fast, it took me a moment to realize that it happened. The warmth of his lips still lingered on my skin. What are you doing? Oh, come on, let up. It's just a kiss on the cheek. It's not a big deal.
It's my way of saying thanks. Enjoy it.
You're crazy. I'm so jealous. I mean...
Don't forget your position. You shouldn't act like that. You're all just mad because she chose mine and not yours.
I didn't choose anything. Though it was kind of my fault Italy was picked. Never made that decision on my own.
Come on, throw it one more time.
Nope, it's already been decided. This meeting is over.
With that, the strange yet fun meeting ended as abruptly as it started. Well, that was cute and fun. Although, why do they even call them date scenarios when they're so not datey at all? Man, what the hell? Mr. Otori only had 5 images. I guess, the CEO wasn't planned to be the big character of the game after all. Well, I I enjoyed his route somewhat, but yeah, I liked Saijo better. I liked the fact that we had the marriage ending, well, the proposal ending anyway, but his chapters were shorter than Saijo's, which I found weird. I just expected more out of him because I thought he was going to be like the biggest character in the game. But the story seemed kind of like a Mayo Shinjo story, if any of you have ever read any of her mangas. I really love her stories. But it was a lot like one of hers, I think Love Celeb. It reminds me of that story. Yeah, since these games only have so much space and time, you can't really put that much detail into it, so it felt, yeah, kind of rushed because of that. Like a good idea, but just not done to completion exactly. Because there wasn't enough time for the twists and turns. And I felt like I was way too standoffish in this. It took way too long to warm up to him, and then we're always pushing him away and being so mean to the poor guy. Alright, well anyway, off to my dream guy, Mr. Kaido. I cannot wait. I really wish I hadn't put him off because, well, maybe one of the reasons why I was a little bit disappointed with the Haruyuki here was because I was looking forward to Mr. Kaido so much. And I was so desperate to get to him, and I just felt like Mr. Otori took forever, even though some of his chapters were kind of short. Alright, well anyway, I hope to see you in the next video for Mr. Kaido. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.